This is High School Sports Talk, presented by VirginiaPreps.com on ESPN Radio 94.1.
As we talk to you live from the Virginia Wesleyan Basketball Team Camp, the 19th annual Blue Marlin Team Camp here at Virginia Wesleyan, going on all weekend long. Tournament play tomorrow. We got games going past 9 o'clock tonight with the coach, Ed Young. I am Matt Hatfield, and Ed, we have a special guest with us. He is the head basketball coach at Peninsula Catholic, going into year 3 at the helm. You can follow him on Twitter at @TDorsey_MU. That is Trevor Dorsey, whose squad beat yours in a very classic Ben Moore Fall League Championship game. Coach, thanks for stopping by. How's your summer going?
Appreciate you, Matt. Busy, but we wouldn't have it any other way.
What brought you out here to Virginia Wesleyan for this team camp? There's nearly 50 schools here. Yours is one of them. Got a mixture of public and private. Got a mixture of schools from the 757 here in Hampton Roads and outside the area. And I imagine the competition.
Definitely, and that's what drives it. The competition here is great. We've been here all 3 years that I've been a head coach, and it's really good competition. Gets us ready for the season, much like the Fall League did. The mix of public, private, we like that because our guys want to play the best. And this is the place to do it. I mean, what do you say, over 50 teams? So yeah.
Trevor, now how many camps you guys playing in this summer?
So far this summer we did the Heritage Summer League. We've been to Marshall University's team camp, and now we're here. And I guess our next step after here is probably going to be the Ben Moore Fall League again.
The Fall League.
Yeah.
Now, of course, coaches use these type of leagues, camps, for all various reasons. Veteran team coach might do it one way. A young team coach might say, well, we got to do this. Right. In your mindset, as you're coming into this coming season, what are you looking for in fixing your team up?
So, and you were familiar with us last year. We lost 6 seniors off of last year's team and 3 really good guards. We have seven transfers this year. So my thought process is we got to play as much as we can to get that chemistry down. We have a lot of talent, but talent doesn't win ball games. They got to learn to play with each other. Everybody's been coached by somebody else, so they got to really come in. And our system's a little bit different, maybe, than what they've played in the past. I want to get familiar with them, and I want them to be familiar with me.
That the most amount of seniors you've lost in your tenure? I mean,
yeah.
It's half your roster, right?
It was half the roster, and 4 of them were starters. So I lost 4 starters, and you're talking about 1,000. All 3 of them are 1,000-point guys: Titus Lawrence, A.J. Baker, and Malachi Banks. All 3 of which are at the next level. And it's tough to replace that.
And for those that don't know, where there's that one of them at Catholic University, right?
Titus is at Catholic University, and AJ and Malachi are at Allen University in Columbia, South Carolina. So very proud of all 3 of them, and they've kind of set the bar for our program. We've had 6 guys the last 2 years go to the next level. I've got Lamar Claiborne was at Ferrum, and he's now at Fayetteville Tech. Cody Payton's at Fayetteville Tech, and Justice Smith is at Pitt Community College in Greenville. So we're proud, and we're building.
Chatting with Trevor Dorsey, the head basketball coach of the Peninsula Catholic Knights, our guest here on High School Sports Talk, presented by VirginiaPreps.com on ESPN Radio 94.1. As we talk to you from the James P. Batten Center on the campus of Virginia Wesleyan University for the 19th annual Blue Marlin Team Camp. And Coach, for those that aren't familiar with you, tell us more about your background. We know you're the head coach at Peninsula Catholic, but where you went to school, grew up, and how you got to PC.
So I'm a West Virginia guy at heart. I was born in Huntington, West Virginia. Went to Marshall University. Got both my bachelor's and master's degree there, and I got into coaching. I was 19 years old when I got my first coaching job, and it was a high school youth league. And at 19 you think you know everything because you just got done with your high school career. But in reality I knew nothing. I moved to this area about 11 years ago. I got my first job in this area at Portsmouth Catholic Middle School. I was the head girls and boys basketball coach there for 3 years. And I was hired by Ricky Epps, the former Peninsula Catholic coach, as an assistant. Was with him for 3 years. He moved on, and I took the head coaching job 3 years ago. And, I'm proud to be here. Hope to be here a long time.
Good deal.
So, it's funny. I'm sitting here listening to your background. I started coaching at 19. There was a time I was coaching boys and girls in Pennsylvania because the girls played in the fall. And the guys played in winter, so you could do both. And then when I got the job in Virginia at Suffolk High School, my first job here, I interviewed for a teaching job in head basketball. When the interview was over, I was offered athletic director, head boys basketball, head tennis, and JV girls. And I said, well, I can't do JV girls because the boys, we play the same season. No, girls play in the fall here, so you can do both if you want the job, right? Yeah. So I said yes because I wanted the job.
They left out head custodian. They didn't give you that job too?
Well, that goes without saying. No matter what job you take, you're going to do custodian, kitchen worker, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you got to have many traits.
You got to be ready for that. Trevor, as we looking at this situation now, you mentioned about some of your kids moving on to the next level. And in our business, if we can get that opportunity for kids to go, that is tremendous because it says something about their work ethic, and maybe we're doing something right because somebody else wants our kids. What do you, coming up right now, you have any kids that look like they're next level? And in saying that, go over some of the kids that you have. I know it's early, but some of the kids that people can look forward to seeing play this year.
So, yeah, I mean, my goal always is to help kids reach their goals and reach their potential, and that's the next level. I tell them all the time, though, my main job is I want you to be ready to go to college and become employable. Okay, I need you to be, good citizens in the community. Basketball is great, but that's going to stop. But, basketball is also a tool that can take you a lot of places. Right now, I mean, we've got a lot of talent. I got Chris Brown from Jamestown. Trayvon Green came from Jamestown. We just got Styles Gardner from Tab, who can flat out fill it up from anywhere. And the best part about these kids is they're all young. Styles is a rising sophomore. Chris is a rising junior, and so is Trey. Jaden Curry's coming back as a point guard. He was with me last year, but, it was really a learning year for him last year because he was behind Titus, and, a great guy to learn from. But those guys, those guys all have a chance to be really, really good. Trey and Chris are the prototypical 6'4" wing guys with a lot of length, versatile play, facing the basket. The way we run our offense, the back to the basket days for me are kind of over. That we're going to space the floor, and if you're on the floor, you're going to be able to handle the ball. You're going to be able to shoot the ball. I want you to be able to put the ball on the floor. And at the next level, that makes you that much more attractive. You don't want to be pigeonholed into one thing. And those kids, they all got a chance. The Jamestown kids were coached by Coach Bridgeforth. He did a great job with them. And obviously, Styles was Coach Baggett at Tab, been there forever, done a good job there.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, you brought someone over on your staff this year, was with Cox for a while, Kevin Hopkins. So he was part of that region championship team a couple years ago at Cox?
He has been a huge help. He was at Cox for 12 years, and I kid with him all the time because I live in Virginia Beach, and I make that drive over to PC all the time, and he was actually going the opposite way. So it's funny that we connect now, but he's great. And he got a wealth of experience under Bobby Wolf, who's a fantastic coach. And Hopkins really has done a great job with these kids that I have now. I mean, they've really related to him well. He works them hard. He did a lot of our off-season individual stuff, and I couldn't be happier to have him. Yeah,
one of those guys definitely goes the extra mile. A couple more minutes here with Trevor Dorsey, head basketball coach of the Peninsula Catholic Knights, our guest here on High School Sports Talk, right here on ESPN Radio 94.1, brought to you by VirginiaPreps.com as we chat to you from the Virginia Wesleyan team camp here, the 19th annual Blue Marlin team camp. Games going on all day and all weekend long. We got Grafton playing in front of us against Grassfield. We have Tallwood taking on Lake Taylor on court 2, and then court 3 over to us on the left, where we're broadcasting up top here on the second level. You have Bayside playing Woodrow Wilson. And, Coach, got some good competition to face yesterday with Jamestown and Lakeland. What have you seen so far? This appears to me, and Ed can probably chime in too, one of the deepest, best team camps I've seen ever, be it here or anywhere.
It is. Out of the 5 games that we play in this pool play, each one is a challenge. Lakeland, top to bottom, is pretty darn good. They just got done winning the Heritage Summer League. Jamestown's got some decent talent, and they got a new coach. It'll be interesting. They should do pretty well in the Bay River. We just played Heritage, and they're athletic. And we got our next 2, Indian River and Bayside, are both athletic teams that look like they have some good size. So it's going to challenge us. And then everybody moves to Sunday, and, our goal is to whatever bracket we end up in, playing 3 or 4 games Sunday and getting a trophy out of the deal.
Yeah, try to win a championship, much like you guys did last year at the Fall League, Ed.
Yep.
Trevor, a question I want to go back in on, and a lot of times this comes up between the public school and the private schools. The private schools have, a lot of times they get transfers in. Public schools, we don't. How, as you as a private school coach, you do get the opportunity for kids coming into your program. How do you kind of keep that in order so that you have allegiance to your kids that are already there. Obviously, any coach, and I'm included, I'll say this publicly, if I have a chance to get good kids in, I definitely would want to do that also. How do you do it to keep your sanity? Because you're like you made a great point earlier about kids coming in and they're coached from different people. Now you've got to kind of get them back into hey, this is what we do here.
Right.
Get along under your program and with your kids there. How do you handle all that?
Well, the way it is now, and I'm sure it's different from 10, 15 years ago, the numbers in and out of both places are unbelievable. The whole reclass deal and all that. I try not to get into that stuff. I know that I can only speak to where I am. Peninsula Catholic, when kids come in, most of the time it's looking for different opportunities, both athletically and academically. PC, 100% of the Peninsula Catholic senior class is accepted to college every year. And that's a big deal for parents to hear because, like I said, my job is to make them become good citizens and employable. And, the thing is, once they step in the doors of PC, they're a PC kid. So it doesn't matter where you come from. You're going to get a fantastic opportunity. As a coach, it's my job to do the best I can with everybody I have and put, obviously, the best program on the floor. I know there's a lot of debate out there. I stay away from that. I can only speak to my experience. But at PC, the academic opportunities that kids get in the smaller classroom size, we only have 270 kids. So each class, 15 to 20 kids, and it's a lot of individual attention. And some kids maybe get lost in the shuffle at a bigger school. And that's both maybe on the court and in the classroom. And we're able, we're lucky and able to bring in kids and give them opportunities they may have not had elsewhere.
Well, in your league, the TCIS, we talked about this in the tournament last year. There are no off nights. I mean, you looked at you'd play one night at Cape Henry with DeJour Rucker. You'd play one night who's at Marshall. Norfolk Collegiate with Jordan Battle. Mark Williams, who's now departed the league after being a stud at Norfolk Academy, now at IMG Academy. I mean, every team, it seems like it has a league, and that's true whether it be public or private. I mean, now it's just, I imagine the scouting reports are very detailed and keeps you up at night.
Well, yeah, everything, it all keeps me up at night. As soon as I see somebody, I'm like, man, what are we going to do? But, I mean, I can tell you, like, our schedule this year, we go Cape, Walsingham, Stewart, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
And, they've all got a lot of size and talent every single year. There are no off nights. I hated to see Mark leave because he was so good for the conference. I mean, to have a guy like that in the league. Efton Reed from Stewart is another guy that, he's turned into he's going to be a monster player. There is really just so much talent. Bishop Sullivan won the league last year, the league tournament, I should say. And I'm sure Ricky will have good talent over there. But there really is, you can't take a night off. And unfortunately, last year we got out to a great start. And I think I had lack of depth issues. I think maybe we lost our legs a little bit. And unfortunately, we came into games not as focused as we needed to be towards the end of the season.
We'll get you out on this, and we appreciate the time. I'm sure we'll get you back here on High School Sports Talk later on in the summer or the fall here, talking with Trevor Dorsey, head basketball coach at Peninsula Catholic here at Virginia Wesleyan's team camp on ESPN Radio 94.1. Ed and I have talked a lot about over the months and weeks and now years the changes in the VHSL with all the postseason and realignment and so forth. Give us your perspective on how it's gone in the private school side of things with the VISA and your league. There doesn't seem to be as many changes with private schools, which you like that? Or
well, I mean, so the way we're set, it's the Division 1, 2, and 3, and we're Division 2, and you take the top 12, and there's rankings. My deal is sometimes I don't know where those rankings come from. But all we can do is go win games. You win games, our goal, Peninsula Catholic has not been to the state tournament since 2007. In order to do that, we got to win games. And the first step is to make the TCIS tournament. All 8 teams that made the TCIS tournament last year made the state tournament at whatever level, D1, 2, or 3. Walsingham made the state semifinals in the Division 3 level. And it's tough at our level. We're competing with Miller and Blue Ridge, who are kind of boarding schools and getting kids from all over the country. But if you win games, it's going to take care of itself. If we can get to the state tournament and be in that top 12 ranking, and you really need a good start to do that. And then of course, if we have a good TCIS, we win play 10 conference games. If you win your fair share of those, you're going to be in good shape. I can only worry about things I can control.
Sure.
And so what I can control is our performance and how many games we win.
You see there any changes, though, coming? I haven't heard any whispers about it, because every year somebody's changing with the VHSL. I don't hear them as much as this.
I don't hear them, and honestly, I tell my athletic director, unless it really is happening, don't even tell me, because I don't want to be worried about something that's not going to happen. So, there's changes happening all the time, and again, if I had to worry about it every day, it'd just be more gray hair. So I'm only going to worry about what I can control.
We'll try to keep the gray hairs off. We're talking with Trevor Dorsey. Thank you so much for coming on the program here. Best of luck the rest of the way in the team camp, and hopefully another championship trophy.
I hope so. Appreciate you, Matt. Appreciate you, Coach.
Thank you, guys. Good luck to you.
Trevor Dorsey, our guest here on High School Sports Talk, brought to you by VirginiaPreps.com from the Blue Marlin Team Camp, the 19th annual here on ESPN Radio 94.1. We'll take a timeout. Back with more here on High School Sports Talk with the coach, Ed Young. We got Dave Macedo around the corner. It's your sports connection, local, high school, college, pro. We have it all right here on
ESPN Radio 94.1.